And now we're live, and it's Friday. Welcome to the Friday Grief Chat. I'm Jill.
Hello, I'm
That's
Deb
and
and
we are the Friday Grief Chat.
Jill. We are.
We are.
Huh.
Happy
We
Friday.
are the Friday Grief Chat. I am so glad that it is Friday. And wow, how about you? Lots of different weird stuff this week.
It's been a full week around here. You sound like every Californian right
Oh
now.
my God.
hmm
Yeah, no kidding.
Living on the
I had
Visine
a,
and yeah,
oh my
yeah.
goodness. I just want to send another shout out to all the Californians that might be uh, listening. And Steve Altman is here, one of our regulars. And Steve, we so appreciate you. You know, in California, though, it's all weird. It's not even just the fires. It's what fires bring afterwards. So it's never just one event. And that's like any kind of grief. I just want to say it's not just, or
Nope.
if you only just,
It's
you know,
and.
it's
It's all the
and.
and. We
See my
literally are
and?
already having we are
It's
already having landslides in the fire zone because of the
right.
destabilization of the soil. And we have lots of toxic stuff in the air. I wasn't kidding. We're like my everybody's
I
eyes are
can hear
burning.
your voice. I can hear your voice,
And
Jill.
I'm 60 miles away. There's ash on absolutely everything, everywhere, all at once. And the sad part is the ash represents so many lives and
Destruction.
people and animals and communities and trees and birds
Mm-hmm.
and all the things. And it's just, and you have to hose it off to make it safe, but ew, because then you're hosing away the residue of all of those. And that's really hard. Yeah,
It
it's a big
it is.
realization. hmm And yet we're also now
It's
hearing the stories of the heroes, which is it doesn't mitigate.
no.
It's an and it adds to there's still a place to look for something positive in the midst of it.
Right.
Like North Carolina with the people who were able to find the things or able to go back to their old community and start rebuilding. It's always the and.
And ands are very important. It is
hmm
never, I can use never. My mom used to say never when it's my Debbie. And it's people under stress, people are not mindful of their own behavior and their own wants and needs. Under
hmm
stress, it's really hard to make room for anything when even all your muscles are contracting. And so, on many of the uh, whatever they call, not platforms, but on many of the posts, whether it's TikTok, whether it's this, whether it's Facebook, people were talking about California, and they said, let's not forget North Carolina. And people are like, we're not forgetting North Carolina.
Or Florida
And or Florida or Georgia
or
or
Tennessee. Yeah.
or any of the places. We're not forgetting about the Ukraine. We're not forgetting about uh, Palestine or Israel. We're not forgetting. It's just sometimes, and this was me yesterday. All I could think about is getting gluten-free chocolate cake into my body. That is all I could think of. And my friend Anne said, she goes, I don't do coffee, but you should see how much hot chocolate I've been drinking. And, we're not forgetting.
We're not. And that's something that has come up for lots and lots of folks here is we can still have moments where we don't think about the overwhelming, but the overwhelming is all around us all the same time. We're actually
Right.
making a chocolate at our office because, like North Carolina, here it's literally until this last 24 hours, we've been under fire watch everywhere in the state.
Right.
You can't rest, you can't relax because if there's a fire 5 miles away and there's wind, 5 miles doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been constant stress, which means cortisol levels are through the roof, which means reactivity is crazy high.
Exactly.
But the rest of
And
you have permission to enjoy and have chocolate, and so do we. We can do all of
exactly,
it.
exactly. And, let's talk about that because next week it really isn't going to be any better because
No.
more of a political front for independents, for Republicans, for Democrats, for Christians, for atheists, for whatever will still be feeling a lot of feels. And there's change. So there's change at every level. So, since everyone's cortisol, or I won't say everyone, a lot of people's cortisol level will be activated and
Escalated.
way up and
Mhm.
escalated, activated and escalated. Here are things as a grief coach, I first off, before we even start talking, I talk about the physical body and what you can do to lessen that kind of um, oh feelings, physicalness. One, you really have to up increase your water intake, not
Yes, you do.
soda, not coffee. So one of the ways I say that is if you have water bottles, you don't have to keep buying plastic, but if you do buy and you have it around, put out 6 water bottles and starting at 8 o'clock, drink one, what, every hour, 90 minutes?
Hmm.
Yes, you will be going to the bathroom more. On the good news is you will not be as dehydrated. You
Hmm.
will be thinning out the cortisol within your system.
Hmm.
Um, so that's one thing. Some I'm not recommending, but what I've heard, and you can check into and check with your doctor also. It's
Hmm.
just most people have portals so you can write things and they'll get back to you. Is it okay to take some sort of stress relief vitamin? Is that okay? Is it okay to even take a 1 a day vitamin? Because maybe you're on chemo, maybe you're on something and it doesn't go with, maybe you're on blood pressure medicine. Please
Consult with
check
your
with your
doctor, please.
doctor.
Yeah. Hmm.
Please, please, please. And see if, you know, something like that would help you.
Hmm.
Check,
Oh, you're frozen. Maybe I'm frozen.
you might think about getting, oh, here I am. Am I
Yeah.
back?
Now you're back. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what it is? And so your vitamin D levels need to be checked with the doctor. And
Hmm.
um, all that sugar you really like I'm a poor example of yesterday, but like extra well, maybe you still have Halloween candy. Maybe you still have Christmas candy. When in doubt, throw it out. Nobody's going to die if you get rid of all the, a lot of extra sugar in your
Hmm.
diet because sugar actually makes your system more acidic. And when you're more acidic, it also leave some bottles out for those. Yes, water. Yes, leave that for here. It's going to freeze, but leave water out for
Your
uh,
delivery folks.
delivery people.
Mhm.
So the sugar, what that does is makes your system more acidic. And then you're more, when there's more acid base inside of you, that leaves you open to more bacteria, more viruses. I mean, this is all proven stuff. So I'm not
We need you
saying,
to get health to stay as healthy as you can in the middle of the stress of cold and flu season and the stress around us. And poor Deb is just freezing up all over the place. I am so sorry. We have she's in the cold north or cold Midwest, and I'm not sure what's happening.
did yours go out also?
No, you're frozen.
Am I still frozen and you only hear my voice?
I'm hearing your voice.
Well, I don't know what it is, but if you can hear my voice, clap once. No, just kidding. Yeah, that's right. So if it's just my voice, that's okay. I'm here. Oh, I'm like a Jewish mother. I'm sitting in the dark. No, just kidding. um, so do take care of your health. Less sugar, less coffee, less, I don't know, less sweets, less meat, red meat,
Less of the
chicken,
stuff you
fish.
know that's not healthy, right? I made a
Right.
big pot of bean and vegetable soup this week, and so that's gonna be on the meal plan for the whole week. Is lunch is
Yeah.
bean and vegetable soup. Hmm.
So make soup, chicken soup, Jewish penicillin,
Right?
lots of onion, lots of garlic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you see my face yet? Just out of
I can.
curiosity.
I can. Yes. We've got so
Okay.
much going on. How do
Okay.
we help folks
So
get through January 20th and the aftermath
go
thereafter?
ahead,
While
Jill.
you're all we've got so much coming up. We've got January 20th. We've got a deep freeze hitting a lot of our country starting this weekend, right? We've got those of us on the West Coast will be dealing with the aftermath of the fires intensively for months to come as people are starting to sort out where am I going to live and where do my kids go to school or right or do I leave the state? We've got a lot of that going on. How do we help folks get through all of the various layers of stress and loss and grief that goes with that? There's going to be grief for a lot of people on Monday. And then there's the weird attribute of those who are happy about Monday also remaining really angry and lashing out for no apparent reason, as far as I can tell. But then those who are on the other side absorbing that as well. We've got a lot of layers, Deb. And it's like multiple
And
loss survival is what we're in right
yes,
now. In a crisis with a multiple
and
crisis loss too. Hmm.
and TikTok most likely won't be here and for
As of
on Monday.
mhm,
And
mhm. And that's actually income for
so
people.
people, when you're addicted,
Uh-huh.
and that's on income. Like you said, this is an income for people.
And it's community
And
too. Hmm.
yes, yeah. So once again, be mindful of your health and what you could do to mitigate stress hormones running through your body. Be mindful of your sleep. Can you get, even if it's napping, get a nap? Be mindful what you're listening to and who you're listening to.
Silence
I
those
have
who upset
friends that
you.
don't. Yes,
Silence them.
yes,
Give them a
yes.
30-day timeout. You're not
Please
going to miss anything,
silence them.
right?
That's right. That's right.
And be mindful of what you
I
say. And that's something I have to actively practice because some people just get under my skin because they're just so nasty. And I have a need to say you're not responding with facts. You're creating fiction. And then I just have to say, you know what? You need that fiction for some reason. I'm going to let you go live in your little sound silo and I'll be over here. Right?
I have a very difficult time when someone says something about me that is not true and provable, like you didn't answer these emails, or you didn't do this, and or I did answer, or I
Mm-hmm.
those things are difficult for me.
To
So I
tolerate.
have to remind myself, is
Mm-hmm.
that really that important? Safety first. I teach this to everybody, safety first. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you can't give from an empty cup. When you protect yourself, and that doesn't mean with your trauma, you get to be nasty,
Mm-hmm.
right? And do what you can. People say, well, there's nothing I can do to whatever the thing is. And I said, there is. You can think, or you can pray, or you can take a breath in for that person. Because I guarantee you, anybody, they sort of hold their breath when you stop, whether it's for a second or longer, when you're
Mm-hmm.
faced with something that dysregulates you. You hold your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Be a friend and take a breath for someone else.
And
If you're
reach out to
standing,
someone who's hurting and tell them you're thinking about them.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
just tell them that. And you don't even have to talk to them. You can
Mm-hmm.
send a text. I'm thinking a lot about you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
how about I love you? And let the LOV letters fall where they do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is the time to go with the old 1950s adage, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it.
Mom was right, wasn't she? Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have the energy to disagree, so just listen to me. So just. No, not so just. If you don't have the energy to get into it, don't.
Right.
Just don't.
Mm-hmm. And don't criticize those who are living in emergencies, whether it's those who are facing ice storms this weekend, right? I have no business telling someone in an ice storm what to do other than please don't drive. I know that's a bad idea, right? Other than that, I don't get ice storms. They are not in my reality.
You don't get black ice. We
Uh,
do.
right. And I'm glad I've been on it once and I don't ever want to do it again. Ever.
Yeah. It's sort of
But
like, could you imagine playing disaster cards? I'll trade
oh,
you one ice storm for two air conditionings out in your hottest temperature. You know, like that's so
right.
stupid.
Right. We don't need to pick on those who are in the midst of stuff. We just need to support. So my text to Deb in an ice storm is the heat on? Are you okay? And do you have enough wood? Right?
Mine is, how you breathing,
Right.
right?
Did you use
That's
your
what I
inhaler
said. Oh
today?
my God.
Yeah.
How's
Right.
your tornado?
Right.
I'm in the basement. Oh, we don't have a basement. So,
Right. It's a use some humor, use a check-in, Tell someone you care about them. Hold them up as best you can. No criticizing, because everybody in a disaster is an individual navigating that disaster however they need to.
That's
And
right.
it's different for absolutely every person in the disaster. Right? Figure
And
out where you can help. Drop a bag of dog food off at a shelter that's taking in extra pups. Right? Send a pack of socks to the shelter with Amazon. It'll get there, right?
mhm,
Or with some other delivery system. You
right.
can do something, doesn't have to cost money. Do the thing that you can know you contributed without telling someone else how to manage their response.
That's the thing. Quite often we either expect a different response, right? And people feel that.
Mm-hmm.
We expect a different response from someone that is unable to give a different response.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not a matter of lowering your expectations of each other. It's a matter of letting go within yourself of other expectations. Now, if you expect someone to be civil and they are not, and they are making you statements rather than I statements, it's best to walk away.
Out you
That's right.
go.
Out you go.
And you
And
don't have to announce you're going out. You can just
you can
close
just
the door
quietly leave.
quietly. Yeah.
Right. And just like the fire departments and FEMA don't let you back to wherever your house was destroyed. And look at here, we get things destroyed by tornadoes.
Right. And you get
You-
blocked because it's not safe.
It's not safe to go back to the house.
Right.
Think of yourself like your own firefighter or FEMA director. It's not safe to let that person back in
Right.
until you can do that. So, those that are, I had a friend this morning, it's been a real heavy week. Can we just talk about light stuff? And I said, sure. With my main thing, I wanted to get her to giggle. And I did because I told eating food off the ground stories or making sure you say she asked me, is it latkes or latkes? And I go, I don't have a problem with either one, but I'll tell you where I have a problem. And I go, it's challah bread. Excuse me, I spit on my
Oh
keyboard.
my gosh.
It's challah bread. It's not challah. It's chai. Like you're getting phlegm out of your
Mhm.
throat. Sorry, it's not chai. That's chai tea, which is another language. It's chai to life or life. So that made her giggle, right? Which is bringing light to someone.
And bringing
Respecting
humor in actually helps lighten everyone's brain. Go ahead. Sorry.
humor, and then let me say the caveat with humor. People's senses of humor are different.
Right.
Um, how I would not make sexual innuendo to to my mother-in-law when she was alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would make other kind of, maybe a little risque, but not to where I can be with some of my other friends. Potty humor.
Right.
Some
Right.
people do not like potty humor.
Boundaries, folks.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Mm-hmm.
My I don't know if I told you, but my 10-year-old granddaughter said, "Do you ever talk potty talk?" And I said, "Yes, I love potty talk." She goes, "Well, and she was talking about her parents and stuff, and said, and the different kind, it's a divorce household. You
Mhm.
know, this parent won't let me say the word but, B-U-T-T, but the other parent will let me say that. And I'm like, oh, what a wonderful crisis. I want that. But I didn't say that. And I said, you can say B-U-T-T in front of Gramps and I.
Mhm.
So, do you say it at dinner? I said, I'm a nurse. I say many things at dinner, and I don't get invited to a lot of dinners. She loved that.
Yep.
So, talk about your grandkids to people. That's lighthearted.
Talk about your pups, your cats,
Pups and cats.
the
Yes.
bird, right?
No political humor. I
Not
mean,
this
if you
week.
need it, remember your page, you can put your political humor, except if it's denigrating. If you represent, if you're a leader in your community, whatever your community is, be careful. Be
Mhm.
careful what you put on group pages, and and I do mean that. I think you have a responsibility. If I represent AATH, there you go.
Right? There you
Which,
go.
by the way, is having its conference in May, 1st of May. Please look it up, www.aath.org. And you can learn more about humor. You can learn. It's about therapeutic humor that heals. And believe me,
Mhm.
I've made a lot of mistakes.
Mhm.
I have.
We
And
all have, and it takes some
yes,
skill to learn that.
that's
Mhm.
right. It is a learned skill. So once again, if you're going to use humor, know
Mhm.
your audience. Know your audience. Be respectful of your audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you going to do on Monday, Deb?
Um I'm going to wake up from a long weekend, and I have a doctor's appointment, a chiro appointment, and a lunch date. Because then Tuesday, I'll tell everybody here, Tuesday evening, I drive over to Indianapolis with my husband. We're going to spend the night. He's going to drive me, and I'll
Mhm.
stay overnight in a hotel with him. And then I will take a god awful early shuttle to the airport in Indy and fly out to your side of the world. I will be in Oregon. I'll be broadcasting with Jill next week from Oregon. And, you know,
And posting some pictures on our page from Oregon so that we can all have
oh,
greenery and water to look at, which rests our brain and gives us that feeling.
I'm going to go early, low tide. I'll get up early in the morning and walk on the beach. And, you know, it's Lincoln City, Oregon. I'm just going to
Oh
say
my gosh, one of the best places ever.
it's the center of the coast in Oregon. And I'm going to be looking for, they place these glass balls along
Mhm.
the coast, and I'll be looking. I'll be
Are you
looking.
going to go to Moe's and get chowder?
Maybe, because there's other places that have even better chowder
Oh
than
my gosh,
Moe's.
better than Moe's. That is sacrilegious in Oregon. You can't say that out loud.
Yeah. So, in any case, I am really looking forward to being with uh, two of my best friends out there. So,
I'm so
and I'm
glad.
not
So
going,
connective positive energy.
that
It's the
is,
connections, folks. We need the connections.
you need the
This
connection.
is a connection for you. Your friends are your connections. Colleagues perhaps are connections. Your organizations are connections.
That's
That's
right.
how we get through the tough times.
We do. And um, yeah, so
I'm
that's the
laughing.
entire scoop. How about you? What are you going to be doing on Monday?
Well, I'm driving to Arizona tomorrow with daughter number one to meet daughter number 2 and her husband and our grandkids to see the ground that they have broken on her new home. So we're going to go look at the dirt pile and see the stakes in the ground and let the kids show us their dirt rooms. So that's the weekend. It's a very big deal. If anyone's ever built a house, to see the house literally growing from the ground up. And then we'll be moseying back. So it's a travel day, and it's not connecting with news. I will not have news channels on.
Right.
We'll get some good pancakes at the pancake house, and we will
Gluten-free.
not engage gluten-free. We will not engage in stressful anything as far as I can see. And then the rest of the day will be working on my garden because dirt helps.
It does. We will be having a freeze out this way next week, I believe. And
hard freeze. Hard freeze.
And traveling during this time is always iffy. I know that. And I made sure, I said, I'm older. I don't got time for 40-minute connecting flights and worrying. You know, I would rather sit with a book and go into gift shops. It's just what I love to do.
Right.
So I'm totally okay with that.
I find the chocolate shop.
Chocolate. I like even a decaf in the afternoon. So to our listening audience, and I just want to, I know Steve wrote something, you know, saying how's your pets in to your friends that have lost their homes. Did your pets make it out? And if you heard that they didn't, give your condolences. Say, I'm so sorry. And Steve,
the loss.
Yes, Steve. It's a Sabbath for Steve. Maybe he's baked something, maybe he hasn't. Let's say it all correctly.
He's got power again. He didn't have power last week.
Right. It's called challah bread. So if he makes challah, please compliment him on that.
Yes.
These were the best latkes I ever made. I just want you to know. Gluten-free matzo meal. I rinsed my potatoes, got all the starch out, and I learned something about putting a carrot into the oil. My friend Ian, who comes on here sometimes.
Ian was here earlier.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Ian said, put a carrot in there. You'll be happy. And I am. The best potato latkes.
I think that sounds like a must.
Yes.
All right, my friend. I have got to get to the office. Everybody, please take care of yourself. Take care of those you love. Take care of those you might not love so much.
And remember the word and.
Yep. Always and. We will see you next week. Deb from Oregon, Jill from California. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.